curious about. I never actually watched or read Ikki Tousen because it seemed too perverse for me at the time. I caught on to that kind of thing later with Seikon no Quasar. That was the first one where I felt, you know, I was in my Gooner phase, and like, but I was a bit older. Ikki Tousen was like foreboding to me as a teen. I was like, oh, there's like too much obvious nudity and sexuality to this. But I remember people online who wrote about it who convinced me that it was actually good. It's like Romance of the Three Kingdoms in high school or something. You know, again, I never watched it, but I know there were people who legit were like, no, Ikki Tousen is good. And that's how I feel about Quasar. And like, I am curious, like if I watched that today, would I just be like, this is fucking filth, why am I watching this?
Say the most recent Marvel film doesn't have. And there's something to that. There's some mechanic to why these shows are so popular. Now, I think it's important to note that a lot of anime production studios are marketing their anime to an international audience, and many anime creators have bemoaned how corporate oversight has forced certain anime to shift gears to appeal to an international audience. Though before anyone comes in and says how anime is being ruined by the West.
It's funny to hear that though, because I'm sure that's been true for certain like companies, but like most of the time when the question comes up to Japanese creators about like the Western audience, they're usually like, yeah, we don't think about them at all because they are such a small part of the amount of money that we're gonna make. Westerners won't pay as much for anime as Japanese audiences. So if a show's not like a huge hit in the West, then it's just not even worth, you know, like the price of localization basically. And the only reason a lot of shows even get localized is that they get sold to the American companies in packages, where the Japanese company says, oh, if you want like Madoka, you got to buy the other 12 trash shows that we know are not going to sell. You've got to do all the localization work. We're just going to reap the benefits if it makes a dime.
Don't forget that the far right,
and they might not
party,
even localize it. They might buy some of that shit out of the packet and just fucking not even bother. Oftentimes, I think like there's an agreement that they have to localize these things, and that's why like Crunchyroll will have a bunch of just like the most shovelware 5-minute nonsense that like nobody watches, nobody likes on that platform. You know,
Senseito has declared officially that they want to regulate what anime is made, not based on how much money it makes or how enjoyable it is by the public, but how much it conforms to their ultra right-wing standards. So let's not pretend for a second that it's Western imperialism ruining anime or anything like that. But at the same time, a lot of older anime creators have bemoaned how modern anime in general, especially the creators, have drawn increasingly from other anime productions as opposed to real life, especially Yoshiyuki Tomino.